Hey there, YouTube. SkepticalRoot. I just got done watching Stephan Molyneux' video, Action Required, Stop the Internet Takeover Now! And this is something this is about the transfer of ICANN, the Internet Corporation for Assigning Names and Numbers, from a US-based corporation to a global-based corporation. This is something I've been arguing against Stephan's position. It's against Stephan's position, who he seems to be taking a lot from something that Ted Cruz had written up. In fact, he references Cruz's statements on this several times during his video. Is 22 minutes 32 seconds, with no intro. And I don't know if there's an outro yet. I'm at 21:31 in the video, and he's rambling now. But the whole like, comment, share, subscribe thing. But anyway, whatever he's doing there, he's like very earnest, and he's very full of shit. This is a point I've been making for months now. When I see this argument come up, is that nothing in ICANN is actually changing. They're not moving. They are not changing They're not changing anything. Well, no. Okay, hold on. Their CEO is transitioning to a different CEO, the board president and CEO, I should say. Nothing else is changing right now. And all they're actually doing is they're doing what they do now with the IIANA, which is the Internet Authority for Assigning... Internet... What the heck is IIANA? Internet Assigned Number Authority. That's it. They're maintaining that role, granted to them by Congress in 1998. So they've been doing this for 18 years. And just changing their type of incorporation. Why is that so scary? They're not moving buildings. Like I said, they're only changing the top board member, but his term has expired anyway. He's in there temporarily while they realign into the new corporation. Then the new guy will take over. They currently have a governmental advisory committee, which manages their decisions on how they do things, if you will. Advises them, I should say, on how they run their business, if you will. The Government Advisory Committee has representatives from 111 states, 108 of those being UN members, but also includes the Holy See, Cook Islands, Niue and Taiwan, also Hong Kong, Bermuda, Montserrat, the European Commission, and the African Union Commission. They also have observers, which include the African Telecommunications Union, Asian Pacific Telecommunication, Caribbean Telecommunications, Commonwealth Telecommunication Organizations, Council. It's in my... I'll link it from Wikipedia. And they vote on everything. That's how it's run now. When they decide they're going to introduce the XXX domain for porn, it's because they sat down and said, you know what, committee members, what do you think of this? Sounds good, let's do it. Okay? Their IANA role is basically to make sure that the domains and the IP addresses all match up and people can get to the information that they want to and people know where it is. They also are responsible for expanding those roles from .com, .org, .net, .gov, and .mil. .gov and .mil are not maintained by ICANN. Those are maintained by the U.S. government. But .com, .biz, .net, .org, that's all ICANN. All that traffic, .uk, .au, .co, all that stuff, CA. Top of my head, how many domains top level domains can I think of? .fr. Let's stop there. Let's not get carried away. But those are all managed by ICANN. They assign names and numbers to these, and they pass them out. You know, you got to be in the United Kingdom to get a .uk one. You got to be in Australia to get a .au, get a .au. You know, that type of thing. They're based in California. They're actually in Playa Vista, which is a suburb of Los Angeles. They're not moving their building. They're not moving their people. They're not changing anything other than their type of incorporation. So this argument that Stephan has that they're opening themselves up to all this trouble and possibly government foreign government sponsorship, it's all bull. There's nothing really that's going to change here other than their type of incorporation. Congress can still step in and remove ICANN's ability to... No, they can remove their assignment of this function from ICANN, but they can't stop the incorporation. They can't prevent ICANN directly from changing its type of incorporation. They're going to... Ted Cruz and a couple other people with lack of technical understanding are going to oppose this. But the second argument that Stephan makes besides this could, take this out of the hands of the U.S. government, which it hasn't been in the hands of the U.S. government since 1998, when it was given to ICANN in the first place as a U.S. independent nonprofit organization. It's not part of the government. It's not run or managed by the government. In fact, in 2014, when Obama said, the Obama administration said, we don't want you to have .xxx domains for porn, they lost in court. That's not an executive branch decision. That's an ICANN decision. And it's an ICANN decision until Congress takes that role away from them. So what's the problem here? An argument that Stephan made about foreign government sponsorship being necessary to avoid falling prey to monopoly laws or anti-monopoly laws with regard to this particular role is bull. For one thing, changing the type of the incorporation, because they were a private organization before. They're still a private organization. The fact that the U.S. government granted them that role to do that, and other parts of the country have gotten better or whatever at interneting, doesn't change the fact that role hasn't been a government role for years. They don't need a government sponsor. They're a nonprofit. Most of the international monopoly rules that that Stephan is talking about apply to for-profit corporations and not to not-for-profit. Because if they were applying to not-for-profit, they could have sued ICANN years ago. Years and years and years ago. They could be doing it right now. What they're doing isn't changing any of that stuff. Sure, it opens up possibilities, but at the same time, ICANN could have just closed down. ICANN could have done this later. They could do a lot of this stuff under their current type of incorporation. But the fact is that they have so much foreign input because the internet is not, while it was started here, is not just America. A lot of traffic goes through here. But you know what? If the internet shut down tomorrow, if ICANN was hit by a nuclear bomb, the internet would go on. It would cause some problems getting assigning new domains. A little Wild Westness going on there, but so what? I mean, whichever top level router you get to first and put your routes in is the one that's going to get your traffic. But that's not a catastrophe. This is not something that needs to be stopped. And stopping it, writing your congressman to get them to stop it, isn't going to change anything. It's going through. It's going to happen. The only thing Congress can do is take away that role from ICANN. They can't stop them from changing their incorporation. All they can do is take away that role. Congress is not in a position that doesn't want to take away that role. Most people in Congress realize that this isn't going to change anything, but there are some fringe people out there who need to feel important. Pretend like they understand what's actually happening and speculate long-term what damage this could do. Crap. They don't know what they're talking about. And I say that as somebody who knows more than Stephan about this. But that's about all I got for it. So I hope you appreciate the commentary. I'll link Stephan's video in the description. I'll also link some of my other sources that I have here talking about ICANN and its changes and what's going on, where it's heading, and basically just why this is a non-issue. This is a non-starter complaint from, and I will say I have only heard this argument coming from people who I would consider less technologically inclined and right-wing ideologues. If I can't call Ted Cruz a right-wing ideologue, I have some problems. But there you go. If indeed, too, Stephan, I'm going to add this a last-minute thing here. If Stephan is really the anarcho-capitalist that he claims to be, why is this a problem for him? This is an organization taking their product that they control and basically doing whatever the hell they want with it. They are exercising their freedoms to change their incorporation if they want to. Why would this be a bad thing for him as far as his political ideology goes? I don't understand that. They're not harming anyone. They're not being aggressive towards anyone. They're not, as far as we know, changing anything other than their type of incorporation. So, Stephan, to you, in this video that you will never watch, why do you care? Or is it that you're not actually an anarcho-capitalist? Or is it because you are afraid of some kind of boogeyman? I don't know. Personally, what I understand of the situation and what most rational and sane people, including those in Congress, I know that sounds oxymoronic, but it's not, don't have a problem with this. We're okay. We'll be fine. So, all right. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Tell me if you think that I'm downplaying this, even though I've been reading about this and commenting on it since probably before their original draft came out, when they had first heard rumors of them talking about making this change. Probably a half dozen times or more since at least May, talking about this. Let me know. All right, guys. Goodbye and hello. As always.
If it doesn't,